Thank you very much for watching and listening to this.
On behalf of the temple leadership, I warmly welcome you all to the 25th anniversary celebration of our Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundar Mandir, as it was originally known. Today we honour the dedication of our founding devotees and celebrate the growth of this spiritual community. Let us begin with gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, our pioneers, and all those who have supported this temple's journey. We are now about to begin a very special and sacred part of celebration, the Abhishek ceremony of our beloved deities. Let's chant together and immerse in the kirtan for the pleasure of their lordships.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Oh Krishna Krishna Bolo Bolo Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Bolo Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh Rama Rama. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bolo, bolo. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, hey! Hare Rama, hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, oh Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, oh Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam, Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam, Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam, Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam, Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe 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 Shyam, Radhe 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 Shyam. Oh Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe. Oh Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Oh Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Oh Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Shyam. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Srila Shyamasundar ke, Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ke, Shishipalana Singh Dev ke, Hari Naam Sankirtan ke, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ke, Ananta Kati Vaishnav Vrind ke, Jai Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Now we arrive at the very heart of today's celebration. The most anticipated, most nostalgic, and possibly the most emotionally charged part of our celebrations. It is our honour to welcome the founding devotees, from the year 2000 and earlier. Those whose faith and service laid the very foundation of this temple. They'll now share not just memories, but living glimpses of this sacred journey's early days. Let us listen with open hearts as we honour their voices. I would like to invite our first speaker, Dr. Joshua Nash, and give a brief introduction. He's a PhD in linguistics, Master of Environmental Studies, and has been involved in Adelaide ISKCON from 1994 to 2001. He lived in Brindavan on and off between 1998 and 2006, and was present when Shri Radha Shyamasundar were moved from Torrensville to Kilburn. Please, Prabhu, would you come up and share your memories?
You can move the things, yeah? Hare Krishna, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I remember, as I said to Dayasara Prabhu, I couldn't find the photo when he was actually carrying the deities in to the temple on whichever day it was. Which day was it actually? No, it wasn't. No, you say it was June. I thought it was July. Anyway, whatever. Here we are. 25 years, eh? And as someone said, I'm the only one of these people without grey hair. For whatever, better or for worse.
You can see you're working on it.
I'm working on it. A bit in the beard, but good to see everyone here. So, where are the photos? So every photo here has me in it, plus others. So this is 1996. So what my presentation's about today, excuse me, I call it ISKCON Adelaide, Some Changes. So I remember back in the early 90s when everyone used to come to Adelaide, a lot more devotees from the eastern states used to come to Adelaide. And you know what? Everyone always said, Shri Radha Shyamasundar, they're so beautiful. Everyone said that, right? Everyone, every time. There you go, mate. Look at that. So I'm almost 50. Back in this time, I was, 21, I think. There's my brother. He doesn't talk to me anymore. We have Zoran Kiljic, and we have Lohi Taksha Prabhu Ji Maharaj. So everyone used to come to Adelaide around this time. Okay, so we're talking, this is dark history now. This is before the deities were moved. So I thought I'd put a little bit in context, right? So 25 years have passed quickly. There's a lot of change. The 1990s were a foundational time for the movement, at least in Australia. It was where you could, I remember in 94, one could still feel the shockwaves of the post, what are we going to call it, Bhavananda days. And it was still pretty like, there was this, what do you say? Everyone used to give me a hard time, probably some of you guys as well. You know, when are you going to join the temple, mate? And I was like, whatever, man. I'm going to be a cool guy. I'm going to play music. I'm going to go to university, do all these things, chase girls even. And I'm going to come to the temple. So that was great. So I think I was able to, surf the contradictions of saying no as well as saying yes, whatever that may mean. So the 1990s were a foundational time for the movement. Australia, GBC was, I think, trying to find its way post Prabhupada's disappearance. Gauragovinda Swami, who some of these people here with us, they're disciples of him, he passed in 1996. So that was probably just exactly this time here, maybe a few months after, actually. Look at this. So we used to do home programs. Simon's not in this one, but Joe is. Who else is there? There's Dayasara, and there's Lohi, and some others. There's my old Danish girlfriend there. Damodar. And there's Camilla. Hiding up the back. And this is, what was his name again? Con and Rasa Vigraha. Yes. Remember Rasa Vigraha? Man, could that guy cook. Nari's up there. Good. So we used to do a lot of home programs. There were lots of folks, friends of Lord Krishna. And at that time, there weren't actually many Indians really that were, as we say, coming round. There were some were initiated, but the kind of the congregation of Indian folk, hang on, that came later, I believe. I called it the second, it was almost like the second fix of the movement. There was this kind of like, not that I was around then, sort of whatever was going on in the 80s, and here we were by the 90s. And this was probably, I reckon that's 2000. So this was the day the deities were moved. Look at that freak sitting there doing his, what do you call that? That Lotus position, or almost Lotus position on the car. This is where I used to live in the city. So this was the car that the deities were moved in from Torrensville to Kilburn. Unfortunately, as I said, I don't have the photo where Dayasara Prabhu was carrying the deities, but so this is... Us
Lowy, if he's levitating.
Are you levitating, Lowy? Very good. So that's me with the sort of bad beanie and cardigan on. That's my brother there, and here's Lowy out the front of our house where I used to live in the city. So it was an event, right? I remember sort of this. There was this idea that the temple was going to move. There was this new property that was purchased. And by this time, I would claim that the movement itself had become more liberal. I remember back in 1994, if you said you were going to do a yoga class at the Hare Krishna temple, they'd say, you're a Mayavadi, you're going to hell. Now, I think you can do yoga classes without being a Mayavadi and going to hell. Is that possible? I don't know what being a Mayavadi going to hell. And then we used to remember there was all these signs on the boga room around the side. It would say, if you take any of this boga, you're going to be a worm in stool for 1,000 lifetimes. That were those days. And it was just kind of like, I was like 18, 19, thinking, I actually don't believe that, but anyway, it sounds good. And these people are older than me, so I guess they're more experienced. So I think the temple became more open-minded around that time, and ISKCON itself became more liberal. And so in June 2000, the deities were moved in this very vehicle. And I believe that vehicle is parked at your house in Gladstone still. It looks a bit cleaner here than it does now. Guess what? So this person here, does anyone know who this is? Of course, you guys know who he is. Lagudi Prabhu. He was the guy, he was a devotee who, how would we describe Lagudi Prabhu, people? He was the guy who worked with the cows. He introduced Damodar Puri. He introduced everyone to a lot of things. He was a bit of a cranky guy back in the day, but I think he mellowed out with time. I spent a lot of time with him. I bathed in cow's urine at his place up in Mawullumbar. That was good, kind of going back to Brisbane. I remember that, kind of going back to Brisbane in the bus, and everyone's like, yeah, man, sorry. He was an intense guy. So this is my late mother with Lagudi and myself. This was like just out the back here. So what I'm trying to say is that by the time the temple moved, and this is of course my recollections, by the time the temple moved to this big property, it was almost a much larger property than it used to be. This was like a time of change, but also a time of evolution that I think the movement was going through. What I say here, early 2000s represents for me a change toward a more, Indian-focused congregation, fewer Westerners. This whole idea of like shave your head, join the temple, that was long gone. Most of those, should we call them freaks, they had gone, or they had done whatever, or they had just chilled out, which was kind of handy because I'm not going to get all political about, my views on these matters, but I think we all have our own journeys, right? I mean, why should we all shave our heads and join the temple and put on some funny clothes? Well, I did put on some funny clothes occasionally, and I walked down the street with some of these people as well. They were good times. But as I said, I also managed to maintain my place in the world. That's not to say that other devotees don't do that. I also remember that back in the day, in 94, 95, 96, that time, it was really stringent. I wasn't actually allowed to... I used to have much shorter hair then, but I wasn't actually allowed to go into the temple kitchen to cook because I wasn't initiated. And I think you could wear thread into the temple kitchen, but you couldn't do it into this temple. What is this area called? The altar. Yeah. So not that I've ever been there. So that's really. Look at that. That's Lagudi, man. That's Lagudi with Joshua Nash there. They were good times. That's just out by this. Is the fig tree still there? Yes. All right. I remember with Dayasara Prabhu, we picked all these figs, boiled them up, and then that became this jam that we froze, that we'd kind of chop up and then put into the halava every single Sunday feast we used to cook, So this property and Radha Shyamasundar have witnessed all of these changes. And they remain as beautiful as ever. I hope you'd all agree. And let's hope they and the ISKCON Adelaide Yatra congregation continue for another 25 plus years. Jai Radhe. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing your memories with us. So our next speaker, most of you probably know, is Jita Girish Prabhu. He met the devotees in 1973 in Adelaide, was initiated in 1975, did some service of book distribution and managed Spiritual Sky. He was the temple president of North Sydney Temple, Kola River Farm and New Gokul. He worked on 4 different farms actually and is currently serving at VIHE in Vrindavan. Jita Girish Prabhu, could you please come up and share your memories with us?
Hare Krishna, everyone. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So back in the 70s was the days when everyone was taking LSD and revolting against the present day of society. At that time I had a very good friend, his name was Stan, and we used to go up into the national park and eat magic mushrooms, and we took LSD together, and we went around to all of the places of people who had taken a lot of LSD, and we asked them, can you take so much that you never come down again? And the answer was always no, you're going to mess up your head. So Stan and I, with another friend, I went up to Sydney in 1969. I was 17 years old, and with that friend we went to see the cast of Hair. At that time, Hair was a production, stage production, and the people would come out on the stage in the last act completely naked, and they would chant Hare Krishna. So we sat in the fountain, near the fountain, Ella Main Fountain, in a small park there, and we talked to the cast of Hair, and if they knew anything about Hare Krishna, they didn't. So a bit later on, my mother, who was a very avid Christian, she went to a church fete, and she bought all these Braj Basic prints of Krishna, and she posted them on the wall in the TV room, because I'd sit there watching TV all weekend. I didn't want to do anything. And I was looking at these pictures on the wall, and there was pictures of Mahavishnu with Lord Brahma and Garbhodaksha Vishnu with Lord Brahma coming out on the lotus stem, and there was Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And I'd sit there and I was wondering, what is this? What's going on here? Something's going on and I don't know what it is. And then very soon after that I was on a bus in Adelaide, about 1970, 1971. And I looked down and there was a black and white Back to Godhead magazine on the seat next to me. I picked it up and I became completely absorbed in it. And then about a year later I saw Sabhabati Das, who was one of the first devotees in Australia. And he gave me a nectar of devotion on the street in 1973. He had a big smile on his face. I said, does this make you happy, this Krishna consciousness? And he had this big smile and he said, you wouldn't believe it. So the first temple here in Adelaide was up in the hills in a stable, and the devotees would come from there, and they had a storefront on Rundle Street. It wasn't a mall then. And there was one devotee, his name was Yasomati Dandana. He was a temple in a few places, temple president in a few places. Anyhow, he was giving a lecture there when I went in there. And he was calling out to the audience and saying, you're all hogs, dogs, camels and asses, you know. And I thought to myself, who the heck is ever going to join these people? So a bit later on I had a friend who lived at Myrtlebank, very good friend, and the temple moved into a house in Myrtlebank, and there was a devotee called Deepak from America. Deepak and Charu, they were one of the first devotees to come and start Krishna consciousness in Australia. Anyway, my friend Stan, he came to me one day and he said, I've heard about these people, the Hare Krishnas, and they're chanting and dancing in the Domain in Sydney. I'm going up to join them. I said, that sounds pretty cool. And so Stan, he went up to Sydney and he became, come and help me here, Sahadev. He became Sahadev Das. Sahadev Das was one of the first devotees to join here in Adelaide also. He joined before me, he was my best friend, and he sadly passed away not long ago, about a year ago. But anyway, I was out on the street, Rundle Street one day, and I'd tried to join the Hare Krishnas in many different places. I'd gone to New Zealand and twice the devotees moved just as I got there. And so I came back to Sydney in Double Bay, and one of the first people I saw was Lagudi actually. And at that time I was smoking cigarettes, and I was down to my last cigarette. I was going to smoke my last cigarette, and then I was going to join the temple. So I walked into the temple after smoking my last cigarette, and Yasomati Nandan was there again. And I said, I want to join. He said, is that cigarette smoke I can detect on you? I said, yeah, I just smoked my last cigarette. He said, I don't think you're ready to join yet. So I said, where are you from anyway? I said, I've been going to Adelaide Temple for a couple of years and been serving there, distributing back to Godheads and doing stuff on the street and helping in the temple. He said, well, I think you better go back and join there. So 1974 it was when I joined the Adelaide Temple full time. We used to sleep on a bare concrete floor, and probably the temple would have been smaller than this room, comprising a small kitchen, temple room, and a place where the devotees used to sleep. Bare concrete floor, we used to sleep in sleeping bags, no pillow, no yoga mat or anything. Nobody took rest during the day. We worked all day long, and most of the time we were either chanting or distributing books or doing some seva in the temple. They're my main memories. There were probably 6 devotees when I joined. One of them was Veno Gopal, who's passed away now. We used to call him Veno Ghee-pal because he used to cook so much with ghee. One morning, I came into the temple room and Veno Gopal was there paying his obeisance. He was still in the same position that he was in last night. He had fallen asleep paying his obeisances after putting the deities to rest, and he was still there. So we worked very hard in those days, and we had no real material comforts. Sarah will tell you all about it in a minute. But there was a room downstairs, and we had a big bucket, and it was full of ice cold water in the winter, and that was our bathroom. You could hear devotees screaming as they took water on each other. Things were very simple, but the devotees had very deep and loving relationships with each other. I think I'll stop there. They're my main memories of different temples in Adelaide, up in the hills, Myrtle Bank, and then Frome Street, Frome Road. When I joined, it was 1974, but I think the temple had been open there for about a year or so before that. And there was a travelling bus party called the BBT, Book Distributors, and they were travelling around Australia distributing Prabhupada's books, and they were given all the respect. And when the bus came to the temple, everything stopped and everybody served these devotees who were distributing Prabhupada's books and treated them very, very nicely. I remember we used to spend so much time on the street chanting. In those days we weren't very respected. People would throw buckets of water on us and call us names, and I had a pair of thongs thrown at me once. But we liked doing Harinam Sankirtan. It was the best thing that we liked to do. And sometimes we'd go out for like 4, 5, 6 hours a day. At one point I developed march fractures in my feet, and the doctor told me to stay off my feet for a month. Of course I couldn't do that. We were going out on Harinam every day. Anyway, I have very good memories of those days, and this very simple. It was very simple in those days. Very simple prasadam. I remember Sahadev cooked a meal once. He's the only person I know that could burn the rice on one end, have it soft in the middle and soggy on the other end. He was a very good cook usually, but that day he wasn't so good. There was another devotee that came from America called Buddhi Manta, and I'll leave Dayasara to talk about the rest. Hare Krishna.
But fortunately enough, we have here with us Sitaram Prabhu, and he will be sharing some of his memories with us. I'll just give a brief introduction for him. He met the devotees in Melbourne and started practicing devotional service in 1990. And after spending an initial 7 years in the Melbourne Brahmachari Ashram, came to Adelaide and served Shri Radha Shyamasundar for 1 year in Torrensville. He has been serving as co-temple president in Perth since 2007. Again, started serving Shri Radha Shyamasundar in 2016 in Kilburn, and continuing by their mercy and the devotees' mercy to this day. Prabhu, could you please come and share your memories?
Mukam Kratvachalam, Pangulangaita Girim, Kripatam Havande, Sri Gurum Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Sri Sanya Mishram. Nama Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pasaya, Bhatra Shamate, Bhaktivedanta Samtanamane, Namaste, Saraswati Deve, Gauravani, Pachanit Visheshanyamari, Pashades Tarine. So, as Mataji mentioned, so I was asked to come and help here in Adelaide in 1997. So we came here that time, the temple was in Torrensville, 227 Henley Beach Road, Torrensville. It was a house, and the Radha Shyamasundar was there. And, the devotees actually did the work there. We had a small room, temple room, and then the devotees used to stay upstairs, and at the back there was a garage. The was there, and the garage, that's where we used to serve the prasadam, so it was a small crew of the devotees those days. I remember the names of the devotees who were there that time. There was one devotee, Bhakti Peter, and another devotee, Bhakti Jason. Later on, he became Jai Vijay Prabhu. And now he left his body. He was the temple president in Brisbane. And he was, that time, he wasn't staying full time. He was a champion in his karate taekwondo, something like that. And he was the national champion, practicing for that. He used to come and stay. And of course, the temple president was Keshav Prabhu. In fact, that's why I was brought in. Keshav Prabhu from Melbourne. He took over LA temple, and he just got married with Vedapriya Mataji. So, so they took over. So the management asked me to help them, so I came. So it was a small crew of the devotees. We used to do a lot of service. And the few devotees used to help also, Gaur Gopinath Prabhu, Vishnu Brahmataji, and Suchitra, I think, Suchitra, and what's her husband's name? Gordon, yes, Gordon, thank you. Gordon, Gordon. And Lakshmi, yeah, they used to come and cook. And there's also another Russian devotee who used to be there. I forgot his name though. He was also used to come and cook one day too. And the crew was so thin, Sometimes we had to do, in fact, I had to go on and with Keshav Prabhu to go and collect also to pay for the temple expenses. We didn't have big congregation to support like now. So we used to go and collect on the stickers, and we used to go and travel and collect and help the temple. At one time, actually, I had to do arati. In fact, I remember doing all the aratis the whole day, starting from Mangalarati to Darshanarati to the Rajbhog Arati, evening Arati, then again for the day to rest. All 7 Aratis I had to do that one day. There wasn't anybody. It was nice. Somehow they tolerated and allowed me to do all that. And I spent 1 year here in Adelaide, and somehow I was noticed I couldn't stay, but I was really praying to Radha Shyamasundar, please forgive me that I had to leave. So I left Adelaide, and then went to India. And then after that, of course, I met Dasa Prabhu in 98, in end of 98. They told me, hey, why don't you come to Perth? I said, oh, okay, I'll go to Perth. And then I came to Perth in June. Then soon after I came, about after 2 months or so, then Dasa Prabhu left me there, and then he came to Adelaide, because that time they were having meetings, and temple with the name, Keshav Prabhu could not handle it, I was told, and then they was about to close the temple and move the deity somewhere. But Dasa Prabhu very kindly and very boldly and courageously, he put his hand up. He said, no, I'll take care of the deities, and with the help of some other devotees. And that's how he came to Perth. So he came to Adelaide from Perth and left me there in Perth. And somehow I'm still stuck there. I'm still in Perth. And so then I heard actually they brought this place in this place, and started the whole operation here here in Kilburn. Of course, there's a lot of devotees actually who worked very hard actually in bringing to this place where it is now. And of course, the initial devotees are always very glorious, and it wasn't an easy thing. And this place, this suburb, wasn't in a very good shape that time. There were so many problems were there. A lot of problems were there, but somehow the devotees stuck and managed the place there. Then many devotees actually helped, And then after that, of course, Adelaide has always been an interesting place, and Radha Shyamasundar, they're very, very special and very powerful also. And so they put devotees into different tests, but somehow or other, devotees actually stuck together and maintained the place. And after that, can't remember the year though, when Adipush Prabhu came, took over, and then he solidified the place a bit and maintained it. And then of course now he passed the handed this to Abhiram Prabhu and maintaining it. And again, somehow Radha Shyamasundar again, they were very merciful, and somehow they gave me the opportunity again to come and serve them as she said, in 2016. And since then, I've been coming and trying to help temple in a very, very, very insignificant way. And I pray to Radha Shyamasundar, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Gaurnitai, Prahlad Narasimhadev, that somehow or other they engage me in a very minute way and bless me so that I can be of some use to Srila Prabhupada movement. Srila Prabhupada said, he created 108 temples and told the devotees, please maintain what I have given to you. If you can, expand it. Otherwise, at least maintain what I have given to you. And we can see that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and the movement is expanding. Same here also. And congregation is expanding, is increasing, and preaching is going on, and the facilities are increasing. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada will be very pleased with all your efforts and all. And I really thank all the devotees here for tolerating me and giving me an opportunity to come and serve here. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And also I forgot to mention, when I came to temple room, Josh was here. And Josh, I was there actually when I was here in 97. And his brother, now is Tota Gopinath, is in Melbourne. So they were very helpful to me also. They were also part of the temple and helped that up also. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so the next speakers I would like to invite up, I'll have all three of you come up at once. Dayasara Prabhu. Dayasara Prabhu first met the devotees in 1973 in Melbourne, and he was initiated in 1976. He was a head pujari in Krishna Balaram Temple in Vrindavan. In 1977, he organised a 24-hour continuous kirtan for Srila Prabhupada when he was leaving his body. In 1977, he served in Japan, 1978 in New Vrindavan, and Pittsburgh in the US. He served in Indonesia, was Vice Temple President in ISKCON Sydney for 6 years, Temple President of Perth, and in 1999 he was appointed as Temple President of ISKCON Adelaide, where was the temple president when this building right here was purchased. The next person I would like to invite up with Dayasara Prabhu is Loitaksha. Loitaksha Prabhu met the devotees in 1975 during a Sunday feast program in Frome Street, served in Malaysia and Singapore, and has raised over $1 million in donations. Haribol. His spiritual master, Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, sent him to Adelaide in 1990 and has been serving here ever since. The final devotee I would like to invite up to speak is really someone who you all will know, needs no introduction, but I will give him a brief rundown anyway. He met the devotees in Sydney in 1971, became a life member in 1979. He sold his sawmill business to assist in the purchase for ISKCON Kola River Farm and initiated in 1980. He has collected millions of dollars of donations for ISKCON over the years. He was appointed treasurer in 1999 and has been serving Sri Radha Shyamasundar here ever since. Could I please invite you three to come up and share your memories?
So I'll first give a brief bio, but this is not about me, it's about Radha Shyamasundar. But Rob insisted that I come here, so I'm doing this to appreciate Bhakti Robbo for all the service he's done here over the years. I came to Perth in 1996 after returning from America with my dear wife Nari Devi. Nari Devi is currently living in Vrindavan and she's been there 12 years. But the only reason I felt strong enough to come here and brave enough to come here, because Adelaide was a bit of a joke around Australia at the time amongst the temples and the devotees because of the ups and downs we've had over the years. But I was, as I mentioned, I was head pujari at one time in Vrindavan, 1976 to 1978, halfway through 78. And I was able to assist Srila Prabhupada in his final pastimes of leaving his body. As a head pujari there, it was like the vice temple president, so I had a bit of an authority, but I was fortunate enough to be able to organise the 24/7 kirtan chanting for Srila Prabhupada as he lay on his bed in his final pastimes. Srila Prabhupada dearly wanted that there was a 24/7 continuous chanting taking place as he was leaving his body. It was very sad. But that was a wonderful service I was able to do for Srila Prabhupada. As head pujari, I had a little bit of authority, so I could knock on devotees' some doors and wake them up at 2 o'clock in the morning because they had missed their roster and get them to go to the temple and chant in front of Srila Prabhupada. So, and also during that time I was serving Krishna Balaram as their pujari, and the beautiful deities of Sri Radha Shyamasundar in Vrindavan. If any of you have ever been to Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan and seen the beautiful Radha Shyamasundar, and then you look at our Adelaide Radha Shyamasundar, I feel they're exactly the same, or an expansion of Radha Shyamasundar in Vrindavan. So Haribol. So in Perth, as the temple president there from 1996 to 1999, it was a wonderful temple and everything, and things were going well. But I always saw pictures of the beautiful Radha Shyamasundar here in Adelaide. And when they were about to close the temple during that period, because we couldn't, things were very difficult. We were in a lot of financial debt and everything. But I took heart because my dear wife at the time, Nari Devi, was an expert collector of Lakshmi and seller of paintings and books, and she joined the Buffalo, New York temple in 1972, and within 1 week she was a top book distributor in that temple. She had that particular knack for selling. When I was the temple president in Indonesia, in Puncak, was in northern Jakarta, and she'd take a roll of paintings that we bought from Lowy. Lowy had a painting business in Singapore, selling their Chinese paintings. So she'd take the roll of paintings, catch a bus down, 100 kilometres to Jakarta, catch a flight to Singapore with a roll of paintings. And she was really smart. She'd go to these different skyscraper office buildings and get the card of the managing director or the CEO. And then she'd come back a day later dressed in a long shoulder to ankle length white dress with gold jewellery. She looked like a movie star, and she said, "I have an appointment to see the managing director of this company." And the secretaries at the desk would be astounded, and they just let her go right up to the top floor and meet. So she sold a lot of paintings like that and raised the money to extend our farm in Puncak in Indonesia. So to cut a long story short, we ended up in Perth, and I was the temple president there, and Nari would go out and collect and save us from a lot of debt. But I remember seeing the fascinating pictures of Radha Shyamasundar. So when it became vacant here to come, they were needing a temple president, they were nearly going to close down the temple, I put my hand up to volunteer for it. But on the strength that I knew that I had the financial support from a wonderful wife, and we could, manage whatever debt came along. So I arrived here with Nari in 1999, and we were at Torrensville. I don't know if you know the old temple in Torrensville. I recently, I left all my photos when I left here, when I moved up to Gladstone, but I left all the photos in the library upstairs. But somehow they disappeared, or the successive management at the time destroyed them. But I was able to find all those photos on an old CD disc. It was stashed away in the bottom of my wardrobe. So I'm going to make all those photos available again. So we came here and we were staying in Torrensville. Back in those days, we'd have the Sunday feast. If it was raining, it'd be in the double car garage at the back of the temple. And on a sunny day, we're lucky enough to have the Sunday feast in the concrete parking lot at the back of the temple. So then I used to always look in the real estate section of the Saturday morning paper for real estate for sale. And at the same time, this temple became available. It was the nuns' convent, of course. So just as I saw that, I was about to call Robbo, who lived across the road, and he met me halfway, and he had read the same newspaper clipping. So I immediately hopped in the car and came out to Kilburn and had a look at it. We thought, this is worth getting. It's wonderful, absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful property. And we figured what a dream it would be to have this. So then I approached the GBC at the time, Prabhupada Swami, and P.V. Swami came over and had a look at it, and he was really impressed. But we had to get permission from the National Treasurer of Australia, a devotee called Nareshwar. But please excuse me, he was a really tight controller, so we called him Nasty Ishwara. And once he saw the plan, after the successive disasters previously in Adelaide with Ironsbury House and different temples, he said no. So Prabhupada Maharaj came back and he said, I'm afraid you won't get permission to do this. And Radha Shyamasundar, I was praying to them, and they inspired me from within the heart. But then I remembered that ISKCON Australia was originally incorporated in South Australia. They tried to do it in the eastern states, but it couldn't become incorporated there. But it somehow, by Radha Shyamasundara's mercy, it was incorporated here in Adelaide in South Australia. Oh, Robin, no. But we can get back to that later on. So PV had rejected it, but then Radha Shyamasundar inspired me, and I realised, well, I'm the temple president, and the next AGM isn't for another 10 months, so they can't remove me until they have the AGM. So I figured we'd apply for the loan ourselves as a separate entity. And ISKCON Australia technically didn't have any control over us. So I went then to sound it out. Went to our local Westpac branch in Torrensville to apply for a loan. And I said, we've got this wonderful building, we want it. So the bank manager wanted to see our finances at the time, and he looked in our bank account, and we had $17.50. But then he said, well, what do you want to buy? And he said, the convent in Kilburn. And this is a stroke of genius from Radha Shyamasundar. He was a devout Catholic, and his sister was a nun living in the convent across the road. So he was in favour of it. But depending if we could get the deposit together, everything. So then we came here, Rob and I were grihastas then, white dhoti wearers, but we dressed up in our saffron robes, and we had Rasa Vigraha, who was a Bengali devotee, and he was expert in cooking gulab jamuns, rasa malai, sandesh. So he made up a big package of sweets, and dressed in our saffron, we went over to the nuns and sweet-talked them and gave them the sweets and everything. And then they said, well, we'll consider your offer, but then Sister Pat, who lives over there, I think she's still alive, she's 104 or 105 years old. But by Radha Shyamasundar blessing, she's had long life because they had got a offer from a land developer who wanted to come in and tear the temple down, the building down, and build a block of units here. And that realtor developer offered 200,000, offered a lot more money than it was advertised for. I think it was 200,000 more than it was advertised for. But Sister Pat, when she found out we were going to keep it as a monastery, and we agreed to have a heritage listing so it couldn't be changed, she very kindly gave us 200,000 off the asking price. So based on that, we went back to the bank manager, and being 200,000 left, he figured we should be able to pay it, provided. But it was a struggle in the beginning. And that'll be the part of our story next, about the struggle we had to get it going here. But Radha Shyamasundar ki jai. Okay, so where do we start, Rob?
How good is this place?
Oh, now.
How nice is this place?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when we came here, we had nothing. Nothing.
Oh, when we came to this building, yeah.
We ate carrots and rice.
Yeah.
We had but Krishna gave me the ability to collect, and I was a big collector, and we collected.
And Nari was helping also, yeah.
Thousands and thousands.
We go out with empty ghee buckets, and you couldn't come home to a temple at night until it was full of coins.
Yeah.
That's how much we had to struggle. But, yeah.
And the only politics we had was who would get the best set of lights. No nonsense.
Yeah.
They were good days.
Yeah.
And Daisara and his family, without them, we would not have got this property.
No. But without Srila Prabhupada and Radha Shyamasundar.
He's very humble, but take it from me, he's a legend.
Okay. So is Robert. Look what he's done now. And Lowy Taksha is my dear friend. We used to buy our paintings, all paintings from him when he ran his painting business in Singapore. So I've known Lowy Taksha since 1980. And he was the reason I moved up to the country town of Gladstone, where I'm living now currently, and Krishna's provided for me. But Lowy Taksha has had many pastimes here in Adelaide and can fill us in a little bit.
Yeah,
Wowie.
I'll take you way back in time before Daisara and Rob Prabhu came to Adelaide.
Successive disasters, yeah.
There was just one problem after another, and just to show how serious the problem was, at one point, before the temple moved to Torrensville, myself and my godbrother Dinabandhu, we found the place in Torrensville. We were looking at about 6 different places to rent, and we decided on renting the house in Torrensville, which was the property that we were staying in before we moved here. So before Torrensville, we were staying in. We had a temple in Semaphore, and the rent was way too high. It was like $1,000 a week, which was a lot of money back then. And there was only myself and Dinabandhu and Yagyapati, 3 of us that were supporting the temple. there was no Indian congregation, no donations. And
Take this
to
one.
cut a long story short, it was so difficult. At one point, everybody left, and there was only myself and Dina Bandhu that were doing everything for about 1 to 2 weeks. It was just really intense. There was just myself and Dina Bandhu taking care of the deities, collecting money and cooking, and
Cleaning.
everybody just abandoned. It was too difficult. Everybody left. And because we got in so much debt, so Dina Bandhu had this idea, what are we going to do? And he said, we just need to do a midnight flip. Like midnight flip means you take off in the middle of the night and leave all your debts behind.
Yeah.
But we found the place in Torrensville, and we had an old caravan that was like an empty shell, and we had a big back door, and we, made several trips to the new temple in Torrensville, and then after a few weeks, devotees started coming back, and we were contacting God brothers and different devotees to come from interstate and help. And lucky, some of them came, Nimai Pandit and Jagat Pati and Paramahamsa, he was the Pujari. And but just to show how difficult it was, the leaders in Australia, the GBC, they wanted to close the temple down. And Indradrumna Swami he wanted to bring the deity, he wanted to take Radha Shyamasundar and take Radha Shyamasundar to Europe, and also Perth Temple, they wanted to take the deities, and Brisbane Temple wanted to take them. And we kept praying to Radha Shyamasundar to stay. And there was, even at one point, after we moved to Torrensville, one devotee, he had a property up in the Adelaide Hills, and he was actually planning, because things were so bad, he was planning to kidnap Radha Shyamasundar and take them up to Kathmandu. And I told him, you can't do that, You just need to depend on Radha Shyamasundar, you can't just take them and take them home. And so I just wanted to illustrate how kind and merciful and tolerant Radha Shyamasundar are.
Prabhuji, how long did you stay like that until Govinda Swami Maharaj appeared on the scene, and then everything seemed to be going quite well then?
Well, before I came to Adelaide, I was in Malaysia, and it was before I took initiation from Gaura Govinda Maharaj, but I was planning to go to India to take initiation, and I was in Malaysia, and Bhakti Vrajendra Nandana Maharaj and Janananda Swami, well, he was just a brahmachari, Janananda, and they were trying to convince me to help open a temple in Penang, and that was very attractive to me because I like Penang, I like Asia. And then I went to India, and I took initiation from Gaura Govinda Maharaj, and I asked him, how can I serve you? What can I do to help you? And his first answer was, I want you to chant the pure name of Krishna in this very life and go back to the spiritual world in this life. And then I told him that I had this opportunity to go to open a centre in Penang. And he said, no, I want you to go to Adelaide. And I thought, He said, because I have one disciple there, Dinabandhu, and he's alone, and it'd be good if he has a godbrother. So that's how I came back to Adelaide, even though I'm originally from Adelaide. But so that's how I ended up back in Adelaide, and
it's worth mentioning that Prabhupada Maharaj loved Adelaide. He loved
Yeah.
the temple, and he came
Because
often.
of Radha Shyamasundar. Yeah.
and he,
So many devotees became these devotees.
yeah, and Gauravinda Maharaj actually said that these deities are the most beautiful in the world, and
Yeah.
he said they were so beautiful that he wanted deities made exactly the same for India, for Gadagiri temple. So we were making all measurements and everything, and he had them made similar. And he predicted that one day, despite Adelaide being, down the pits, going down the tube,
For 20 years.
he said, in the future, Adelaide will be the best temple in Australia. And you can see. Radha Shyamasundar ki jai.
Yeah.
So
So
let someone else speak.
Brother, say a few things.
I remember when I first came from Sydney to Adelaide, and there was an American Swami floating around, and he gave class and he said, "You know, Prabhu, sitting here, I feel like I'm in North Carolina. Everyone here reminds me of hillbillies. Us hillbillies are still here, but where is he? You know, where is he? Where did he go? You know, all this nonsense, but we worked so hard to get this temple, and the day when we got it, Dasara and myself and lovely Nari waited out the front for the real estate agent. He rocked up in a big BMW or something. We had a defected Falcon station wagon.
With a big dent in the back where Bhakti Joseph had backed into a police car doing an RVT on Torrance Road.
And we had Prabhupada in the back.
Yeah.
So we pulled up, and the nuns over the road came over, and they thought, God, what's this? He doesn't talk much. No. So we got him out.
Yeah, but before that, we were coming here in the car with Prabhupada and Nari, and the copper pulled us over because we had this dent in the back and everything. And he was going to write us up a ticket and everything. But it was on Churchill Road, but then one whom went fanging past about 150 k's an hour. And he said, "Okay, you guys on your way," and he went after us. So we ducked up a few side streets to get here, so in case he came back. Go on.
So anyway, we got Prabhupada out and we got organised, and Dasara was given the keys to the castle, and Nari started playing the Madanga, so we brought Srila Prabhupada around the yard.
Can't hear you, mate.
Around the yard. Then we brought him inside, and we took him in every room. And Dasara said, Srila Prabhupada, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? He said, I like, yes, I like this. So when we got back in the car, we were driving back to Torrensville, and we thought, how are we going to pay for this joint?
Yeah.
How are we going to do this? We only have a few collectors. We have all the gree-husters. Daisara used to call them greedy hustlers because they always wanted more money. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we used to be amazed that we would sit there and all the aeroplanes would go over, And no gurus would call in, would they?
No, no.
They wouldn't call in for a double mango lassi, you know.
Except for one who stole our hearts, that was Jayapataka Maharaj.
Yeah, Jayapataka came.
He'd always be very personal and friendly. And
yeah, nice guy. Very good, very good.
Mm.
And Pradananda Swami, but
Yeah.
no one else. We were just morons, you know.
Mm.
Keep on going. Yeah. Yeah, Bhanu Swami. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So here we are, thanks to, you know, the present management,
Yeah.
Prime Man. What a wonderful temple. What
Yeah.
a beautiful place, you know. You know. I just hope that one day we can do what, you know, Srila Prabhupada asked us to do. You know, cooperate and tolerate. Wouldn't that be great if we could all be together? How good would that be? Hare Krishna.
One great request I have is that we've got to try and attract some of the Western body devotees back, is if we increase the Harinam Kirtan in the streets of Adelaide and hand out flyers to invite people to come to the Sunday feast. And that'll be a good balance all around then, you know.
I remember in Front Street when we first joined, Jita Hari put up
Jita and I served in Frome Road, the old Frome.
Jita Hari put up this big signboard at the railway station. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
And we were getting like 100 people to come to the Sunday feast.
yeah.
Because of that billboard. It was very expensive. We couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing everything to try and attract people to come to the temple, but we found.
I remember one Sunday I went to the feast, probably 1973. There was only one devotee in the temple. His name was Bhutanath, very nice devotee, passed away. But all the devotees had gone to Mayapur. There was only about 4 or 5 of them. And they'd gone to Mayapur. I went to the Sunday feast. Bhutanath was rushing into the kitchen, cooking up some puris. He'd come back out, give the Sunday feast lecture, race back to the kitchen, then he'd come back. When all the preps had been offered, he'd come around and he was offering everyone in the room the prasadam. He did everything. So it's very humble beginnings in Adelaide, but very nice also. He was a great cook, Bhutanath.
But look at the result, it's magnificent. I only slept 2 hours last night because I was so hyped up, and I was talking to everybody all day yesterday, and I get high blood pressure and I was a bit dizzy and I could only sleep 2 hours, but it's so magnificent. I'm simply astounded coming back here. I haven't been here for about 10 years. And it's just truly amazing what's happened. So keep the preaching spirit going. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dayasara Prabhu, Loitaksha Prabhu, and Robert Prabhu for sharing your memories. And thank you very much to all our founding devotees for sharing your memories with us today. Okay, everyone. Now we have a special presentation by Gopal's Play School. Let us prepare our hearts for a very special offering. Through melody and harmony, they will offer a heartfelt tribute to the founding devotees of 2000.
You dreamed a dream and saw it through, with hearts ablaze and spirits high. You built a temple reaching the sky. No golden funds, no paid out way, just faith that did not drift or sway. You pressed ahead through dust and rain and turned your love into domain. You carved a space with hands so pure, where Radha Shyamasundar could endure, a home not made of stone and kirtan sung, each lamp a light, each child who dances in delight, each prayer that goes through the whole proclaims your service through it all. You bought not walls but sacred ground, where Krishna's holy names resound. You gave your time, your sweat, your song, to serve the Lord where hearts belong. You carved a space with hands so pure, where Radha Shyamasundar could endure. A home not made of stone and wood, but Bhakti deep and understood. The year was 2000, the crew was small, but hearts were big and they gave their all. Inspired by Prabhupadas' sacred flame, you poured the way without a claim. No flame you sought, no comfort claimed, you only joy the holy name. And from your tears and silent toil has sprung this temple's sacred soul. You carved a space with hands so pure, where Radha Shyamasundar could endure. A home not made of stone and wood, but Bhakti deep and understood. A sanctuary bold and bright, a beacon glowing through the night, a place where souls can seek and see the path of truth, the way to be. You carved a space with hands so pure, where Radha Shyamasundar could endure. A home not made of stone and wood, but Bhakti deep and understood. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to who first believed, all glories to eternal seva, all glories to the legacy you leave.
Hare Krishna, everyone. It is with deep humility and heartfelt gratitude that I stand before you today on the historic occasion of marking the 25th anniversary of this temple's establishment. At the very outset, we offer our humble obeisances at the lotus feet of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Ki Jai! It is solely by His divine vision, unwavering determination, and boundless compassion that this spiritual movement has reached our lives and this temple has come into being. On behalf of the temple devotees, I offer our heartfelt gratitude to each of the founding members who have joined us on this very special celebration. To our founding devotees from the year 2000 and earlier, this temple, the sacred home of Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundar, stands today because of your selfless devotion. You laid the foundation not only of these physical walls, but of a spiritual movement that continues to grow, inspire, and transform hearts. We would like to especially extend our deepest gratitude to those devotees who served hard to make this day happen, but are no longer with us. We miss them dearly. Their absence is felt, but their presence is eternal in the service they rendered. We pray that they are now closer to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Now, in honour of those devotees who offered everything, the temple is pleased to announce the installation of a commemorative plaque, which will be placed at the front of the temple as a lasting tribute. The wording of the plaque is being displayed on the screen at this moment. Please take a moment to read and reflect. Those at the back that can't read it, I'll read it as well. In honour of the devotees who offered everything, in the year 2000, with unshakable faith, deep sacrifice, and love for Srila Prabhupada, these devoted souls gave their hearts and resources to secure the sacred home for Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundar. This temple stands as a testament to their service. Etched into every offering, every kirtan, every prayer sung in this temple. Because of their offering, countless souls now have a place to hear, chant and serve. With deepest gratitude, we honour their legacy. Those who build a temple for the Lord are eternally blessed, for they build a stairway to the spiritual world, not just for themselves, but for generations to come. Offered with love on the 25th anniversary 2025 by the devotees of ISKCON Adelaide. So let this plaque serve as a daily reminder to all those who enter these gates that this sacred place is built on the sacrifice, faith and love of those who gave everything for Srila Prabhupada and the mission of Lord Chaitanya. I would like to thank the following devotees who flew in especially for this 25th anniversary celebration. Gita Girish Prabhu, Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu and Sitaram Prabhu. I should also thank Aniruddha Prabhu. He did land, but he did arrive, but they wouldn't let him land, so he went back to Melbourne, but he did make a lot of effort to come here. I would also like to thank the other founding members for their presence today. The following Prabhus and Matajis: Dayasara Prabhu, Robert Prabhu, Dasavata Prabhu, Loihi Prabhu, Neville Prabhu, Clive Prabhu, Leela Mataji, Rajamalani Mataji, Shyamsundar Prabhu, Pradeep Prabhu, Joshua Prabhu and Damodara Prabhu. And I would also like to thank the former co-temple president, Adi Purush Prabhu, and Lokanandi Mataji for their safe stewardess of this temple and for gracing us with their presence. But I'm especially grateful to all of you for joining us today. Now, events like this, they take a great deal of preparation and dedication. A small but incredibly hard-working team of volunteers made today's celebration possible. And I would like to sincerely thank the following groups: the altar decoration team, the cooking and vegetable cutting team, the Pujari department, the cleaning and gardening team, there's no team, it's just Robert, the prasadam and serving team, the crowd control team, the welcoming team, the photography team led by Sanjay Prabhu for his generous sponsorship, the pot washing and purchasing team, the team who made the bags from the Maha cloths of the deities, Pandava Sena and Gopal's Play School for their wonderful performances, and a very, very special thank you to the garland and decorative team for the beautiful dresses that their lordships are wearing today were all handmade. Well over 100 hours of painstaking effort went into creating those amazing dresses. Many sore fingers and wrists, I am told. Let's hope there's no workers' compensation claim on Monday. Without your collective efforts, we could not have run this festival. Finally, a heartfelt thank you to our generous fee sponsors, Sailesh Deshpande and family, and our eternal fee sponsor, Ashok Kumar Jayaraj. Your support made today's prasadam possible. And thank you to all the dress, garland and abhishek item sponsors, a lot of anonymous devotees who have generously donated from their hearts. So thank you all once again. All glories to the founding devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Shyamasundar ki jai. Hare Krishna. So please, let's all now stand for Arati.
Shyamasundar Radha Shyamasundar Radha Jaya Radha Shyamasundar Radha Shyamasundar Radha Niktaye Gauranga Jaya Niktaye Gauranga 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 Niktaye Gauranga Jaya Gaurahari Niktaye Gauranga Jaya Haribo 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 Niktaye Gauranga Haribo Niktaye Gauranga Haribo 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 Niktaye Gauranga Haribo Jai Shri Radha Shyamasundar ki Rachina Dev ki Srila Prabhupada ki
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvicheta Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvicheta Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatarine Ya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vinaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Shyamasundar, Radha, Shyamasundar, Radhe. Jaya Radha, Shyamasundar, Radha, Shyamasundar, Radhe. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache Namahata Jivira Karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache Namahata Jivira Karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache Namahata Jivira Karan. Tradavanjana hai, Tradavanjana hai, Tradavanjana hai, Tradavanjana hai. Patiache namata jivira karan, Patiache namata jivira karan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Prabhupadas Bhai Mage Bicha, Prabhupadas Bhai Mage Bicha. Bolo Krishna bajo Krishna koro Krishna Jeka. Bolo Krishna bajo Krishna koro Krishna Jeka. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Nadia Godro Menikana Mahajan, Patiache namata jivira karan. Aparada suya hoye lo Krishna nama. Aparada suya hoye lo Krishna nama. Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Nana Pran. Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Nana Pran. Nadia, Nadia Godome Nityandana Majan, Patiya Chela Mahata Jivira Kara. Krishnera Samsara Koro Chadi Anachar. Krishnera Samsara Koro Chadi Anachar. Jive doya Krishna sarva dharma samasa. Jive doya Krishna. Jive doya Krishna nama sarva dharma sa. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Shyamasundar, Radha, Shyamasundar, Shri Radha. Jaya Radha, Shyamasundar, Radha, Shyamasundar, Radha. Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaurari, Gaura Gaura Gaurari, Gaura Gaura Gaurari, Sachi Mata Pranadana Gaurari, Nadia Bihari Gaurari, Gaura Gaura Gaurari, Gaura Gaura Gaurari, Sachi Mata Pranadana Gaurari, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaurari, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nite Gora Haribo, 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 Nite Gora Haribo. Nite Gora Haribo, 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 Nite Gora Haribo. Nite Gora Haribo, 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 Nite Gora Haribo.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajikacharya Astatara Sada Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajikacharya Sutara Sada Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Ananti Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Purushottam Chitra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sankirtan Jaga Ki. Radha Shyamasundar Ki. Adelaide Yatra Ki. Haribol.